Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, the assembly elections are on in full swing, or rather, the campaigning for the elections, the posturing, and the politicking is on. The elections, of course, will be held at the end of next month. But we can say that the politics of it is very much in the forefront. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the state of Rajasthan, because that is a very interesting state. Even though most people are predicting an advantage, BJP psychologists have given BJP a very sweeping advantage of more than 50 seats. But having said that, reporters on the ground, people are saying that yes, there is an advantage BJP, but there are still 2 months to go. There are a lot of important, powerful personalities at play. People who've been sidelined, such as Vasundhara Raje Scindia. Can she play the spoiler, if not, become chief minister herself? There are also a whole lot of focus that is happening even with the inner politics. We saw the Gehlot versus Sachin happening. Has that been reconciled? Then Ashok Gehlot tried to make a comeback. He announced a whole slew of schemes, populist schemes. Are those having an impact on the ground? If not, what will be the future of Ashok Gehlot? Will Sachin Pilot then get a second inning? A lot of important key personalities are there in Rajasthan today. So we're going to be taking a look, focusing on the state of Rajasthan and also basically the politics of the BJP and the Congress in general. Joining me on the show is Javed Ansari. He's a political commentator and senior editor. We are a columnist. We have Shekhar Iyer, commentator, senior editor and a columnist also. Adesh Aval, he is a journalist with Lokmat, and of course we've all seen his Twitter handle for all the information especially inside Congress. And Anil Sharma, he's a senior journalist also based in Rajasthan. So Anil, I'll come to you since you are there on the ground. What are you sensing? Is it advantage BJP, and how much of an advantage BJP?
It seems advantage BJP to me, but I don't agree with the opinion poll, because there are about 6 or 7 opinion polls which have been done so far. And out of that, only 2 or 3 shows an advantage to BJP. That I agree. And 3 gives advantage to Congress. I agree to all this because it's a neck-to-neck fight. But the problem is, have these surveys taken into consideration what is happening with Vasundhara Raje right now and her supporters or a loyalist, whatever you want to call them, what is happening on the ground, Or if all these guys, because so far BJP has declared only candidates only on 41 seats. And out of 41, as per our information, on 12 seats, there are rebellions, which are ready to fight as independent candidates. So have these polls have taken these things into consideration or not is still unclear. But one thing is for sure, the last of the opinion poll, which was, if I'm not wrong, ABP C-Voter, which gave BJP a margin of about 60 seats, 60 to 70 seats, that much of difference I don't see on the ground, It can be a neck-to-neck with a very slight advantage of BJP as of today. Because in politics, in India, everything changes in 7 days or 24 hours, If there are emotive issues or if there are, what we call them, perception changes, then the election result obviously changes. So we have got about 1 month and 15 days to be somewhere nearer to that, because elections in Rajasthan are on 25th of November. The date has been extended from 23rd to 25th. So elections now are on 25th because of weddings on 23rd. It's a big summer for weddings, So
Jaipur is a big destination for weddings from all over, Bombay, Delhi.
You'll not believe it, Priyaji. According to the reports we are getting from these tentwalas or event managers, Jaipur alone has a wedding about 10,000, on 23rd November. So you can just imagine what must be happening in Rajasthan on that day, weddings. So the election coming in extended date. So in a very short, I'll say that as of today, I'll be very specific. As of today, it is advantage BJP. A very slight, but advantage BJP. What happens with Vasundhara's and the loyalists? That is to be seen. If these factors, come into picture, then BJP may lose advantage,
Which is why, Shekhar, I want to ask you, why is the Prime Minister doing this, the BJP's strategy? Because Congress seems to be promoting local leaders and BJP is making local leaders, they're sidelining their other. What is the great strategy behind this? And is Modi trying to just sideline them and spite his own election win?
No, it may appear like that, but I don't think it is so, because in the last elections also, what had happened was seats were rather distributed on the basis of the demands raised by 2 major factions, that is Vasundhara ji and those opposed to her. So, and that they felt was, lot of seats which could have been won were lost because they had to submit this factional pressure. That's why this time you are seeing, even in the first list, it appears that a lot of people who are seen as Vasundhara's loyalists have not made it. So this time, I think it was made clear to all the leaders that this is not going to be the way the tickets will be distributed, because whichever faction that leader says, look, you have to give them ticket. That is not on the basis of so-called recommendation. Tickets are to be given. They will be given on the basis of whatever their grounds report says or several surveys that have been done. So therefore, what you are seeing is not that it is only the Vasundhara's people are unhappy. There are a lot of others who do not belong to Vasundhara's camp. Even they are unhappy because even their recommendations have not been carried through. So therefore, I think it's a very, very difficult situation. BJP knows about it. BJP leadership knows about it. Just that they don't want to repeat the mistakes they made in the last elections. Of course, as Anilji was saying, there seems to be a mood of advantage, because initially it appeared that BJP was at a greater disadvantage. Then because it appeared that Ashok Gehlot probably would be able to carry it through because of delivery of some schemes. Because in Rajasthan, the election is about, more about welfare measures. I mean, our welfare measures was your welfare measures, or I don't want to use the word revenue politics, but more or less there is not much of any other issue, major issue, other than in terms of how to, get the votes of those sections by various schemes, by various targeting and things like that. So that is where it was. But somewhere down, one felt that the momentum at which Ashok Gehlot was picking up his campaign after the patch-up with Sachin Pilot, that has suffered a dent. Then we saw Prime Minister going there, addressing several campaigns, Amit Shah holding meetings, and then things were made to clear to the BJP leaders in that late night meeting that took place in the Jaipur hotel, in which Vasundhara also participated, where they were told that tickets will not be, there will not be any prejudice against anyone, but at the same time, there will be high premium for winnability.
Okay.
Yes.
So Adesh, this is the BJP point of view where, if you want to add anything to this, and also what is happening in the Congress camp. We saw Gehlot and Sachin, wo bhi by June sab sulaj gaya tha. Still Ashok Gehlot is, is he facing anti-incumbency or some other issues?
देखिए, जहां तक सचिन पायलट और अशोक जी का सवाल है, अभी जब वर्किंग कमेटी की मीटिंग हुई दिल्ली में, तो बड़ा आश्चर्य हुआ उस बैठक में कि सचिन पायलट ने कहा कि मैं बधाई देता हूं हमारे मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत जी को, जिन्होंने कास्ट सेंसस की बात को लागू करने की बात कही। दरअसल उसके पीछे का कारण ये था कि जब इससे पहले जयपुर में एक वॉर रूम में इनकी मीटिंग चल रही थी, जिसमें इंचार्ज रंधावा, गोविंद सिंह डोटासरा पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट, हरीश चौधरी, सचिन पायलट और अशोक गहलोत, इन बैठकों में ये चर्चा चल रही थी कि राहुल गांधी जिस ओबीसी और कास्ट सेंसस की बात कर रहे हैं उसको आप लागू कर दीजिए। अशोक गहलोत चाहते थे कि इसको मैनिफेस्टो में डाल दें ताकि हम उसका वादा कर सकें, लेकिन हरीश चौधरी ने और सचिन पायलट ने प्रेशराइज किया, दबाव डाला कि नहीं आप करिए इसको, क्योंकि जब हमारे नेता ऐसी बात कर रहे हैं, वो एक प्रॉमिस कर चुके हैं, वर्किंग कमेटी रेजोल्यूशन पास करने वाली है, तो आप इसको करिए। तो उनके प्रेशर में इनको करना पड़ा, और सचिन पायलट ने जानबूझ के वर्किंग कमेटी में तारीफ करके कहा कि मैं बधाई देता हूं अशोक गहलोत जी को। बेसिकली वो उसका क्रेडिट लेना चाह रहे थे। दूसरा, मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने एक मैसेज भी दिया कांग्रेस लीडरशिप को कि देखिए, हमारे बीच जितने भी डिफरेंसेस हो, लेकिन मुझे इनकी तारीफ करने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है। सचिन पायलट अब एक सुलझी राजनीति करते हुए दिख रहे हैं। दूसरा, आपने कहा कि इनकी तैयारी क्या है। तैयारी देखिए, अभी तक एक भी सेंट्रल इलेक्शन कमेटी की मीटिंग राजस्थान को लेकर नहीं हुई है। स्क्रीनिंग की बैठकें चल रही हैं, और कांग्रेस ने 4 सीनियर ऑब्जर्वर अपॉइंट किए थे, जिनको साथ पार्लियामेंट दी गई थी कि आप जाइए और देखिए कि वहां पे क्या हालत है। तो उनमें से ज्यादातर लोगों का ये कहना है कि विधायकों की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है, मंत्रियों की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है, लेकिन सरकार को लेके या मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत को लेके ऐसी कोई इतनी ज्यादा एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है। तो हमें चाहिए कि हम एक तय कर लें कि हम कि कितने % टिकट हम काट सकते हैं। अब उसमें जैसे मुझसे पहले वक्ता बोल रहे थे कि परसेंटेज क्या रखनी है, क्या कितने लोगों के टिकट काटने, आधार क्या बनाना है, उस बात को लेकर चर्चा चल रही है। लेकिन इसमें एक बड़ा सवाल ये है कि जब टिकट काटने की बात आती है तो दोनों ही गुट आमने सामने हो जाते हैं कि नहीं, आप मेरे लोगों की मत काटिए, आप मेरे की मत काटिए। तो अब देखना ये है कि पहली बार राजस्थान में दिल्ली लीडरशिप जो है वो काफी सक्रिय है, वो हर चीज अपनी देख रेख में करना चाहती है। 22 सितंबर को एक रैली हुई थी जिसमें राहुल गांधी गए थे, मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे गए थे। उस रैली में ये फैसला किया गया कि मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे और राहुल गांधी की फोटो छोड़ के, चाहे मुख्यमंत्री हो, सबकी फोटो एक साइज की कर दी जाए। ये फैसला किसने किया? ये फैसला दिल्ली लीडरशिप ने किया। अब परसों जब अशोक गहलोत आए, माफ कीजिएगा 12 तारीख को जब वर्किंग कमेटी की मीटिंग थी, उसमें भी कुछ ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण फैसले लिए गए। तो मैं पहली बार देख रहा हूं कि राजस्थान को लेकर बहुत ज्यादा सक्रिय है सेंट्रल लीडरशिप, और वो हर एक कदम फूक फूक के उठा रहे हैं। परसों भी वेणुगोपाल और सचिन पायलट की बड़ी एक मीटिंग हुई दिल्ली में, जिसमें ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि उन्होंने कहा है कि जो मेरे लोग हैं उनकी टिकटों का क्या होगा। तो उनको एक आश्वासन दिया गया है कि हम आपकी टिकटों का पूरा ख्याल रखेंगे। अब आपने एक स्टेटमेंट जरूर सुना होगा अशोक गहलोत जी का। उन्होंने कहा कि मैं सचिन पायलट को कुछ नहीं बोल सकता, अब तो वो खुद ही हाईकमांड है, क्योंकि वो वर्किंग कमेटी के सदस्य हैं। तो सचिन पायलट को वर्किंग कमेटी में आने में 3 साल लगे। तो ये जो डेवलपमेंट्स चल रहे हैं, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी कहीं ना कहीं बैलेंस करने की कोशिश कर रही है, खास करके पिछले साल की 25 सितंबर की घटना के बाद से। अब देखना यह है कि कैसे सचिन पायलट के लोगों को अशोक गहलोत एडजस्ट होने देंगे।
हाँ, दैट इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। एक तरफ सचिन पायलट के लोग, दूसरी तरफ जावेद वसुंधरा राजे के लोग। बट द कंपेयर द वे द हाई कमांड इज ट्रीटिंग बोथ सचिन पायलट एंड वसुंधरा राजे इन बोथ द पार्टीज। जावेद?
Well, I'm a bit intrigued, a bit surprised at the manner in which Vasundhara Raje and Shivraj are being undermined. Shivraj is a 3-term sitting chief minister. Vasundhara has been the face of the BJP for the longest time, and after Bhairav Singh Ji's demise in Rajasthan, and she's been a fairly proficient chief minister. Therefore, it's strange that they are being undermined. The Congress realizes that a divided house is a certainty. Defeat is a certainty if they go in with a divided house. So they've taken the extra steps, especially ever since Mr. Kharge has assumed presidentship. They brought these two people together. How long this truce lasts, I don't know. But at least for now, they are together. But look at the picture as far as the BJP is concerned. Vasundhara Raje is hardly given time of day. She's not allowed to speak at public meetings. And even if she is, there's no prominence. She doesn't get the importance, the kind of prominence that a ex-chief minister should get. She used to be, it will not be appropriate to use the word poster girl for her, but nonetheless, she used to be the face of the BJP.
Correct.
Now, suddenly, so in my view, everything will depend. There is anti-incumbency against MLAs. So much will depend on the political will of the Congress leadership on whether they can change MLAs and give a large field a large number of new faces. Secondly, how much of an effect has this trickle-down effect? Has these welfare schemes happened? Were these schemes introduced a bit late in the day, or has it affected people? Two, what will be the role of the independents, rebel candidates put up by Vasundhara Raje? These three things. As far as Mr. Gehlot's future is concerned, look, Mr. Gehlot is a very smart cookie. When it comes to formation of government, he will spring out of nowhere. He rises from the dead and he becomes a chief minister. Or else he's not to be seen in Jaipur. He was the leader, he was a member of the previous assembly, but didn't show his face for on more than 4 occasions in 5 years. So we know he will either try and make a bid to get some kind of a posting. If he doesn't become chief minister again, if they don't form government again, then he'll look for a position somewhere at the center. Or else, if they do, then his main aim will be that he should be chief minister. And now Sachin, now that he's in CWC, he should concentrate on central affairs, where Ashok Gehlot should be left to uncontested, so that he is the sole manrak of all his surveys in Rajasthan. So that's where I think the cookie will crumble.
Okay, very interesting, and leads to a couple of questions which I'm going to ask after a very quick break. So stay with us. Welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Today we are focusing specifically on the state of Rajasthan. And just before the break, Javed spoke about Ashok Gehlot's future. I'm a little curious to know. So Vasundhara Raje ne rebel candidates feel kar rahe hain, and she and Ashok Gehlot do have an understanding. Is there any way that these candidates, she and Ashok Gehlot, can join hands? And does she see a future for herself in the Congress? Because there is really no future for her in the BJP. If Jyotir has gone there, then maybe Vasu Javed is shaking his head. But let me ask. You want to answer, Javed, before I run it?
No, Anilji. I don't want to be discourteous. I'll answer after him.
Okay, Anil ji, aap bataiye.
I don't think so. I will be very straight. I don't think so. That she leave BJP and somehow be in touch with Congress or have some, kind of relationship even with the Congress. Because whenever I spoke to her, she always used to tell me that I will never leave BJP because this is the party which was set up by my mother and Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Advani ji. This was exactly the reply she gave to me. I'm never going to leave the party. But, there are certain things which happen behind the curtain too. And certain things which happen, in front of the curtain. Now, what is being done, what I feel, as a journalist is, the fight is going on from behind the curtain, from the side of Rajesh supporters or loyalists, What they've done is, this is what Javed said, there is going to be a strong possibility of these 12 or 13 people who are out of 41 are feeling, sidelined, fighting as rebels, of the BJP, and in a way going to hurt BJP somewhere. So if I'm not there, then BJP is also not there. It feels like that formula is being worked out, from a supporter, not from a, I'll be very clear, she has not even spoken about it, but it seems so if you look at it. And this number may grow. As the list grows, this number may grow. This is what I feel. If in the second list also you don't find any of the Vasundhara loyalists to be there in the list, then obviously there's going to be something big happening in Rajasthan. But that is why I said, when you talk about the gap between the two, I always say it's neck-to-neck fight, still on. It's a neck-to-neck fight. Why? There are two reasons. One is Vasundhara not campaigning or canvassing for BJP will make a huge difference in Rajasthan because she is a pan-state leader. People have to understand this. There's no other leader in BJP Rajasthan who's a pan-state leader. All other leaders are constituency leaders, The factor is Vasundhara factor because she will not campaign. If she does not campaign, you must have seen in the by-polls, out of 8 by-polls since 2018 to 2023, 6 Congress won, 1 BJP won, and 1 RLP won. But BJP in a couple of these by-polls had the worst of the results as their candidates lost their deposits, Why? Because Vasundhara ji was not there for canvassing. So they thought Vasundhara is not supporting them, So my take is A is Vasundhara, B is the social security of the schemes of Ashok Gehlot. Now you must have seen in Delhi what happened on OPS, Not much of mainstream media covered it up. But what happened in Ramlila ground on OPS, there were about 4 or 5 lakh people there. So you have to understand which was the first state who announced the OPS. That was Ashok Gehlot. So Gehlot, what he has done is...
Then why is he hesitating to announce the caste census?
He has already announced. Formally, a letter has been issued by the government of Rajasthan, but it is not called caste census. Remember that. Because census can only be done by a central government.
No, survey.
So, yeah, he has, found a gully, in Hindi words, he has found a gully somewhere where he can say caste survey we are going to undertake. And this is going to change some of the scenario in Rajasthan because Rajasthan is also a caste dominant, Look at the tickets, what BJP has done. The tickets have been given on the basis of caste. Which caste is dominant in which part? The 41
Which is what usually also happens.
That's what I'm saying. And if you look at it, you'll feel that even BJP has gone into it. So caste survey or caste census, whatever you call it, is a big. It's going to be a game changer for Gehlot also. It is. And the policies of social security policies like OPS or right to health, Chiranjeevi Health Yojana, Universal Health Scheme. You name some of the few people are really loving them. But still,
but as Javed said,
can I add one thing? I just want to add one thing. We are talking about anti-incumbency in Congress. Yes, there is a very strong anti-incumbency. If Congress is not able to control, change the tickets, then it might be very difficult for Congress to come back to power.
point. Shekhar, but I was speaking to a cabinet minister and I asked him about, the same point, will Vasundhara be a spoiler? So he says, don't forget, we are a cadre-based party of discipline. Advani ji, when he was indisciplined, one small act of indiscipline, he paid such a huge price for it. So why will Vasundhara try and, take on the central leadership? She will fall in line. Do you agree with this reasoning?
No, I want to draw your attention to what happened in Chhattisgarh. See, initially, after that disastrous results of 2018, it was made very clear to Dr. Raman Singh that he should shift to center. He was made a Rajya Sabha MP. Now, after that, even this time when the first list came, his name didn't figure. His son's name did not figure. Then his nephew, but of course his nephew Vikram Singh was, Vikramaditya Singh was seen as the power behind Dr. Raman Singh. He was given the ticket. Now, finally, what we are seeing, Dr. Raman Singh has been now asked to contest from Rajasthan. Similarly, as days pass by, because these are not, cast in stones as yet, because out of whatever has come out, there are 31 new faces now. They are studying the reactions. They have to do this, balance. Maybe some candidates may be changed or some more. The basic thing is, it's a messy affair, Priya. I mean, it doesn't matter which party it is. It's so difficult to, apart from the caste loyalties or caste command, you have to also look at, because the whole problem is the sitting MLAs feel, that so-called surveys which are done, they are surveys, they feel that they are not very professionally done, rather it is used against them. So I think in this situation, it is, of course, they have to change a lot of candidates, there is no doubt about it. But the whole effort is to convince even Vasundhara. Look, some people have been denied ticket not because they belong to your faction, because this is what our 3 surveys are saying, 4 surveys are saying. So there will be a lot of backroom persuasion and a lot of years. But I still do not think that the BJP, the so-called high command, is in any mood to sideline Vasundhara. I do not see so, because she will remain an important factor. It is quite possible some give and take is done, and finally, just as you are seeing, because even Vasundhara's own seat has not been announced. I mean, that is also pending. So probably maybe the next 1 week, I think, now this is supposed to be the ending period of Pitru Paksha, though they have come out with one list, which itself was a surprise to me, because normally they would have waited for this period to get over and start with Navratras. So I expect in next few days, when more tickets are going to be announced in greater number, a lot of balancing will be done, because, Rajasthan presents rather one of those low-hanging fruits for the BJP compared to Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh. So they would not like to mess up already what is quite messed up situation.
Yeah. Just your feedback on, the conversation so far, and how do you see the central leadership of both parties? How are they handling the cadres,
देखिए, राज्यों के चुनाव हैं और आप जिससे चाहे बात कर लीजिए, कोई नेता हो या कोई ब्यूरोक्रेट हो या कोई जर्नलिस्ट हो, 4 के बारे में आपको सब बोलेंगे, लेकिन राजस्थान के बारे में हर किसी के पास जवाब नहीं है। मैं बहुत कई महीने से बात बोलता आ रहा हूँ कि राजस्थान का चुनाव काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है, क्योंकि सेंट्रल लीडरशिप दोनों ही पार्टियों की, इधर मुश्किलें हैं कांग्रेस में अशोक गहलोत के लिए, और उधर मुश्किलें हैं वसुंधरा राजे सिंधिया के लिए। तो ना उन्हें सीएम फेस घोषित किया जा रहा है, और क्योंकि अशोक गहलोत चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, तो यहाँ तो पार्टी लीडरशिप अपने हिसाब से चुनाव लड़ रही है। तो दोनों तरफ से जो है वो, और ये कहा जाता है, लोग बंद कमरे में इस बात की चर्चा करते हैं कि अशोक गहलोत और वसुंधरा जी की अच्छी दोस्ती है, और उनके रिश्ते भी काफी अच्छे हैं। इसका एक उदाहरण दिया था सचिन पायलट ने अपने आखिरी लंच में, कि जब हाईकोर्ट ने ये कहा कि आप विपक्ष के नेता अगर खाली कर दीजिए, तो गहलोत सरकार जो है वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट आ गई थी कि आप ऐसा मत करिए, हमारे यहाँ ऐसा रीति रिवाज नहीं है, ऐसी परिपाटी नहीं है, तो हम ऐसी राजनीति नहीं चाहते। तो ये मैंने एक उदाहरण दिया संबंधों को लेके, लेकिन दोनों तरफ की सेंटर लीडरशिप अपने अपने नेताओं को फ्री हैंड देना नहीं चाहती, उनको फेस बनाना नहीं चाहती, उनके हिसाब से चुनाव लड़ना नहीं चाहती। उसके बावजूद भी दोनों नेताओं का भारी कंट्रोल है अपने अपने लोगों के ऊपर। उनके पास ग्रुप बड़ा है, लोग ज्यादा है, क्योंकि दोनों का जो कार्यकाल रहा है, 15 साल अशोक गहलोत को हो गए हैं, उससे पहले वसुंधरा जी को, तो 5 साल उनके, 5 साल उनके, तो किसी और को डेवलप होने का मौका ही नहीं मिला। और अब दोनों पार्टियों में ये हाल है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से मध्य प्रदेश में बीजेपी ने सांसदों को टिकट दी, केंद्रीय मंत्री को टिकट दी, वहां कोई विरोध नहीं हुआ। लेकिन आप देखिए मध्य राजस्थान में जहां सांसदों को टिकट दी गई है, वहां भारी विरोध का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि ये पासा उनका उल्टा पड़ गया है, जबकि होना ये चाहिए था कि मजबूत लोगों को मैदान में उतारा है तो उनको सपोर्ट मिलना चाहिए था, लेकिन यहाँ उल्टा हो रहा है। सांचौर का एक मैं देख रहा था उदाहरण कि वहां पे उन सांसद जी की गाड़ी का शीशा ही तोड़ दिया गया। आज वहां सेंट्रल लीडरशिप की तरफ से 2 लोग भेजे जा रहे हैं ताकि एक समन्वय की बात हो सके, बैठ के बातचीत कर सके। बेसिकली क्या हुआ है, जो लोकल लीडरशिप बीजेपी की थी आपने उसे इग्नोर कर दिया और उसका भारी विरोध का सामना आपको करना पड़ रहा है। तो दोनों तरफ से मैं जो आपका सवाल था कि सेंट्रल लीडरशिप कांग्रेस की हो या बीजेपी की हो, अपने अपने नेताओं को फ्री हैंड देना नहीं चाहती। इसमें कॉमन चीज ये है।
So interesting, Javed. There is this, the 2 layers elections really being fought over here. One is, of course, the local leaders, and one is central leaders between local leaders in each party also. So that's what makes Rajasthan all the more interesting, right, Javed?
Yeah, it happens always. But I want to answer that question which you asked of Mr. Anilji, of whether Vasundhara and Ashok Gehlot can tie up, or whether Vasundhara will jump ship. However disgruntled she may be, unhappy with she be, what is the Congress willing to give her which the BJP is not? Can the Congress make her the chief minister? Will Ashok Gehlot tie up with her to make her the chief minister? She won't. What does she gain by going to the Congress party?
Deputy CM?
Ashok Gehlot, Deputy CM. She's been CM twice. She doesn't want to be Deputy CM. Come on. So, Ashok Gehlot and Vasundhara have a very good thing going. They have a good understanding. The understanding is limited to the fact that when the BJP comes, if you're chief minister, you don't go after me. When I am in power, I won't go after you. And this we've seen in both these times. Anilji will bear me out. And they have a very healthy, relationship, which in an ideal world ought to be, which used to be earlier, which no longer exists under the present dispensation. So that is it. They won't change. As far as the fact that, you have these machinations and this interplay that goes on in every party, in every election. I will still stick to what I said earlier. Much will depend on whether Labharti schemes have made an impact on the ground and whether the Congress can change 30, 40 or 50 of its MLAs, whether it has the political will, and how much of a detrimental effect will the rebel candidates have on the BJP. BJP's this thing. Otherwise, the Prime Minister doing the heavy lifting, the Prime Minister realizes now the BJP, this is a change. Earlier, the BJP used to feel that you need to have a strong state leadership and to augment all the heavy lifting that the Prime Minister does. Because Bengal and Delhi, etc., have shown that PM alone cannot pull the chestnuts out of the fire. Now, I guess they've come to the conclusion that no, let's leave it entirely to the Prime Minister. The central leadership will be, because they also believe if they win, then before the 224 elections, it will be, give added wind to his sails. Look, Prime Minister snatched victory from the jaws of defeat in Rajasthan.
Fair enough. Well, symbologists, of course, hate to say this semi-final, but there is a moral impact. There is a, whichever side wins will get some credibility for 2024 elections. But on that note, thank you so much. The state of Rajasthan is clearly one of the more interesting states to watch, which we'll keep watching. But for now, thank you for this conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.